it mainly focuses on 3 topics. And on the first section, we are going to talk about what is smart grid. And the second is about the solutions we offer. And the last, in section why Robustel, we will show you which products are suitable for smart grid communications. And now let's go to the first section. What is smart grid? So in this section, firstly, let's have a look at the background of smart grid. And we can see in this page 2 stages of grid. In traditional stage, the grid is one-way flow. So customers didn't have a chance to participate with power system. And also the proportion of clean energy, like wind energy, the solar energy, is very small. In the meantime, with the rapid industry development and increasing domestic electricity, this design is not suitable for continued electric power growth. But the smart grid allows a two-way communication between the utilities and customers. In smart grid, clean energy are being widely used. Also, smart grid enables more and more projects like distribution automation, intelligent transport system, and smart metering, and so on. Robustel networks meet the demands of smart grid, that it can provide reliable communications between the utilities and the customers. So this brings us great opportunities. And the next page, let's see the world trends of smart grid. The global market, smart grid market, has grown steadily over the past years and expected to continue its growth. The government moved forward to build an efficient, reliable, and safe power grid. So the projects for smart grid and other districts will continue to expand. In Figure 1, as we see, during 2014 to 2020, not only in Europe market or US market, demands of Asia Pacific and other districts also grows fast. All the governments spent much more investment in smart grid, especially on distribution automation and smart metering. For example, in Figure 2, we see in the past year 2013, the US government invested almost 44% of the whole funds on distribution automation projects, and about 37% of the whole on smart metering. Distribution automation and smart metering will still occupy a large proportion. So we can pay more attention on digging out those projects. And now let's go to the next page to talk about what is smart grid. We see the smart grid is two-way flow. Like the internet, smart grid also consists of controllers, the computers, automation, and other technologies and equipment. So they are working together. Smart grid it is a two-way communication between the utilities and consumers. It supports a real-time and secure communication and provides a greater efficiency, visibility, reliability, and automation. So I think now we already have some knowledge of the smart grid. Let's go to the next section. And I will present to you typical solutions we offer. Let's turn to the next page. And to better understand the solutions we offer, firstly, let's have a glance at the structure of smart grid. Smart grid is very complex. It includes many devices and technologies. And today we mainly talk about 4 smart processes. First, the smart generation. Why we need smart generation? Obviously, people want to increase plant availability and efficiency. But now the problem is the old grid's plant availability is not so high to match today's demand. It needs a stable and reliable communication, and our products are suitable in this field. It can provide a reliable and stable communication to support a more efficient generation. And then we see the second, the smart transmission. We know transmission lines, almost all of them are directly exposed outdoor. So it requires a strong monitoring system to detect occurrences and ensure the normal and flexible operation of the equipment. And then let's talk about the smart distribution. Distribution automation is a smart grid technology that it gives utilities ability to monitor and map voltage and power quality from the feeder to endpoint. It is a very important component of smart grid. And in past years, power distribution faced the problems like big power loss and low self-healing ability that today power distribution must enter a real-time communication. Then we see another very important component of smart grid. Smart power utilization. Power utilization is direct to society and customer. The services and management are located in consumer side. Smart power utilization applied in many aspects in our daily life. For example, the smart metering, which helps consumers better manage their energy use and reduce their energy bills. And we have done lots of projects on smart metering. And actually, they are really promising projects. Now, let's go to the next page, and I will show you typical solutions here. In this page, we see the wind turbine monitoring. We know the wind resource is unlimited, but the maintenance of the wind generation is still high. Now, wind turbine is bigger than ever. It produces a big vibrate, a big shock. And windmills work year by year in harsh environment. So any abnormality needs to be reported timely. So the network should be real-time and robust. By using fiber, the wired communication is stable and mainly used in wind power generation. But the recovery ability of fiber is poor and also difficult to repair. A wireless backup is often required. And in this topology, we see the PLCs, which locates at top windmill and is for monitoring the status of wind turbine. And R3000 is connecting with those PLCs, can provide a network access. For a wind farm, there are hundreds of windmills. To ensure normal running of windmills, more and more monitoring and analysis functions should be added, such as video surveillance. R3000 here can also be connected with an IP camera via Ethernet port to monitor the sites. And with Robustel platform, we can configure and manage remote R3000 devices. And from the control center, we can monitor the whole operations. And let's go to another page and go on with the solutions. This is photovoltaic power generation system monitoring, the PV system monitoring. PV generation also can be applied widely from the spacecraft power supply to the home power supply. We know the solar panels are very expensive and always cover a very large area. The fiber wiring is more flexible and high real-time, but due to the limit of environment and the output voltage of PV generation is relatively lower. Wireless communication is very commonly used in this process. And in this page, we see the PV array absorb the energy from the sun and then must use an inverter which converts it to alternating current. Only after that, the power can be used for the customers. R3000 connect with an HCCU via serial lines and provides network connection, wired or by wireless. It provides network access to connect the control center with the remote devices together. Smart solutions in power generation still have big potential and in increasing needs. We can make our products play a more important role in this application and provide a better transactive service to meet customers' demands. And the next page, let's see the transmission line monitoring. Transmission line is a physical channel of power energy. It connects the power generation, the power distribution, and the power utilization together. Transmission lines are long and exposed in the field. So the communication devices must reach to industrial grade to cope with lightning, storms, and other extreme situations. Smart transmission also requires a high standard electromagnetic environment to ensure that all the devices could normally work together. And let me take this topology for example. In this topology, people use ice sensor to detect the thickness of ice on the transmission line. And the same way, temperature sensor detect the temperature and convert the signal to usable signals. When somewhere in the transmission line occurs a fault, the fault indicator will show an alarm signal. Then the upper-level power supply system must be carried out in order to prevent the occurrence of big accidents. R3000 here is connected to a controller and provides a flexible network. So an IP camera is also needed to connect with R3000 to one of the Ethernet ports to avoid a power theft and monitor the field sites. Maybe smart transmission is not the hottest topic in smart grid. Unlike distribution automation and smart power utilization. But in recent years, such projects are also on the rise, and we cannot miss these opportunities. And now let's go to the next page to see another hot topic, the distribution automation. From the past years, power distribution faces many problems, like low reliability in distribution. If a failure occurs, the power outage time is very long. And massive terminals and complex networks lead to a high cost of operation and maintenance. Nowadays, distribution automation refers to an intelligent distribution system that is fully controllable and flexible. We cannot imagine the loss of a network interruption. it needs a higher requirement of the communication devices. And also, the extreme environment of distribution require our industrial-grade devices can run normally and do not interfere with other equipment. Robustel provides industrial-grade products that can work in this extreme environment, and they already reached a high EMC. R3000 in this topology is to connect the sensing and control layer with the data analysis layer. Go Rugged R3000 is connected with reclosers, transformers, and other sensing or controlling equipment via serial ports. And then it is wired or wireless connected to the SCADA center. Then SCADA center can monitor the operation of the remote devices via the network provided by R3000. Okay, now let's turn our attention to the smart power utilization. We heard about the smart appliances, the smart meters, smart home, and so on. The smart grid is not just about utilities and technologies. It is about giving you the information and the tools that you could make choices about your energy use. For example, in smart meters, you will no longer have to wait for your monthly statement to know how much electricity you use. With a smart grid, you can have a clear and timely picture of it. Smart meters will allow you to see how much electricity you use and when you use it, and its costs. So it is very important to build up a communication between the utilities and consumers. And in this solution, we see all the meters, for example, a water meter or an electric meter or other meters, all connect to a DCU, the data concentrator unit. And Robustel gateway product M1000 Pro V2 is connected with this DCU via serial port. It provides a network access to connect the DCU with control center. M1000 Pro V2 supports transparent TCP and UDP. Then it transparently transmits serial data to control center. So that's the solution of smart metering. And now we get to the third section. Why Robustel? Let's go to the next page. Just from the functions, there are many kinds of cellular products on the market can be applied in smart grid. But you may face many problems. One is that the operation environment of smart grid is very harsh. You know, almost all the equipment are exposed to this extreme environment. And the electromagnetic environment is very complicated. To ensure there will not be out-of-range electromagnetic interferences among those devices, the communication device must be industrial grade with high EMC and good stability. Applications in smart grids are also very complex. Massive equipment need a product with variety interfaces and more networking modes. Robustel Go-Rugged products are industrial-grade products with high EMC and variety networking modes, so they can meet the requirements of a reliable and real-time communication. Now let's turn to the next page to take a look at those industrial-grade products. We know all of you are already familiar with our products, so I will not repeat the details here and just talk about what makes our products meet these requirements above. The first product, like you see here, it is Go-Rugged R3000. It is a dual-SIM industrial cellular VPN router. R3000 has a variety of interfaces with 2 Ethernet ports that support different networking modes. And the Wi-Fi feature can also be a backup for the connection. The cellular WAN port of R3000 support always online and connect on demand. Connecting on demand, it means you can turn off the network when you don't need access to internet. And when you need it, you can activate it by SMS, by a call, or setting up the time in advance. This can reduce the network cost. R3000 got 2 serial ports. One RS-232 and another is RS-485. So it can be connected with more different devices with these 2 serial interfaces. R3000 got a power terminal with lock on it, so it is more stable in communication. It can normally work under a vibrate and other unstable environments. R3000 can work at a wide range input voltages and also a wide range of operating temperatures. The housing of R3000 is metal, and with a high EMC, it will not interfere with other devices. Also, R3000 supports a centralized M2M management platform, Robustel. It allows you to monitor, configure, and manage large numbers of remote devices over the web. So the network maintenance costs are very low. All of this proved that Robustel is able to provide reliable and flexible communications in smart grid. And then the next page, it is also a hot item. R3000 Lite. Dual SIM design enables continuous cellular connections. This is a compact and lower-cost version with one Ethernet port and one serial port. This serial port could be RS-232 or RS-485. It is software selectable. You can choose the proper serial port according to your actual need. Same as R3000, you can choose always online or connect on demand with the metal housing and also with a high EMC and also a wide range of operating temperature. It is also smaller, so it is easier for integration. And you can also use Robustel to monitor and configure R3000 Lite. So R3000 Lite is also a competitive product in smart grid. And then let's turn to another page to see a gateway product, M1000 Pro V2. M1000 Pro V2 is a dual SIM industrial grade cellular product. It has a mode switch for configuration on this gateway. And one serial port is RS-232 or RS-485, also software selectable. And M1000 Pro V2 has 6 LED indicators, which clearly present a signal strength and running status. With the transparent function, M1000 Pro V2 can transparently upload data to the control center. And Robustel can also do the configuration and monitoring to remote devices. So no need to devote more attention and resources to deal with the network communications. And M1000 Pro V2 is also with metal enclosure and also reached a high EMC level. That makes it an industrial grade gateway to work and an extreme environment. So in smart grid, we really have many chances to digging out more projects. And we will try all the best to support you in those opportunities. So that's all that I present to you today. And now I'd be happy to answer any question.